Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be the general daily collective message for Thursday, October the 6th. Keep in mind, timing and energy is still fluid, guys. This reading could play out today or over the next several days. This reading may or may not be for you, so I do ask that you only take with you the messages that resonate. Leave behind the rest. I'm going to talk about this astrology aspect taking place today before jumping in with the cards. We do have Mercury and Virgo forming a trine aspect to Pluto in retrograde in Capricorn at 26 degrees 06. And so, oh, kitty, I want to come and say hi again today. So I feel, Mercury rules communication. Pluto rules death. And so I feel this renegotiation. I feel our mental processes are going to be very potent under this astrology influence. And so it's like this penetrating mental energy coming through. And so a lot of profound communication. This could be heated communication. I feel it's time to kind of drop the facade when it comes to socializing with people just for the sake of it, and getting down to the nitty gritty when it comes to some serious heart-to-heart discussions. And so I feel if you've been on the wrong side of the law, the wrong side of justice, and you've been in the underworld, there's going to be profound transformation taking place. And so this energy is kind of creating this cosmic womb for many of us to understand our abilities and to really deeply understand esoteric knowledge. So your energy today would be best applied when it comes to investigation, uncovering secrets, right? Pluto deals with secrets, uncovering secrets, a lot of psychological self-analysis going on. And this really is a good time to dig deeper into understanding your own astrology aspects at a deeper level. When we understand what makes us tick, then we can release all of these obsessive tendencies. I feel a lot of obsessive thought processes. We're going to really want to block out a lot of background static noise. That's really going to assist us in the energies today. All of this really is in preparation for the new moon, or the new moon. I keep saying new moon. The full moon in Aries. And so Aries is a time of self, right? This really is a good time to book in a psychic reading, or maybe even do a little bit of past life regression work. I know my dreams were really intense last night. I was in dream space. I was actually awakened shortly after 4 this morning with my little peanut running a very high fever. And the last word I remember hearing when I woke from dream state around 4 a.m. was Father, Father. And I instantly burst into tears. So I think that was a message for my own journey of, there's still some underlying father wounding there. And when I do think of the father energy, I do think of, God source energy. I think of the Hierophant. And so connecting to God source, a lot of telepathy in the energies, or even possibly remote viewing with a connection that you are connected with spiritually in the higher realities. So let's jump in with some cards today, guys, and see what else needs to come through. I actually was encouraged to grab the Divine Energy Oracle deck because I do feel there's a lot of cosmic energies surrounding many of us on the awakening journey. So let's cut the deck and see what needs to come through. Look at that. Forgive and forget. Focus on success. And so who do you need to forgive? I just want to say we never ever truly forget the things that have been done to us, right? If people have hurt us, broken our trust, or used us and mistreated us, we're never ever going to forget those lessons, right? But forgiveness is what's going to liberate us from feeling this bitterness and resentment and going into these obsessive controlling tendencies. And so we're shifting our focus, right? We're shifting our focus on holding on to these grudges and facing consequences for holding on to grudges, because when we hold on to a grudge, we're only drinking poison from our own cup, right? And we can't wish another harm. Eventually, what goes around comes around, and everybody's going to have to meet their karma at a certain point in time, right? Karma never loses an address. It doesn't matter how far away you run from what it is you've created, it always ends up coming full circle. And so I feel we're shifting our focus, right? We're focusing on success. What can we do to bring more success in our lives? And so you might be receiving a lot of intuitive downloads and hits with the Mercury aspect trine Pluto. So this might be a lot of higher thought processes going on. And somebody here, I feel, needs to bust out of their cocoon. And so you think of the cocoon, right? You go into this state of chrysalis, right? And I think of chrysalis, I think of recrystallizing our DNA, going through these DNA upgrades, these DNA activations. And so we're in this cosmic womb for a period of time, and everything kind of has to disintegrate as we go through this transformation. And it's kind of time, I feel, for all of us to bust out of that cocoon and to spread our wings. We're ready to soar. We are ready to fly. And so I also want to say, with a lot of the aspects taking place on the weekend with this full moon in Aries, it is all about honoring the divine feminine rising, and it's kind of time for us to take our rightful place within the spiritual community. So we're gonna see what else needs to come through with the cards today. Oh my gosh. Wow, there we go. You're gonna need to trust in the divine plan. So there's some divine orchestration taking place. And so anything that is breaking down or dissolving in the energy, it is to get you to stop living a role that's really not who you truly are. And there's that rejuvenation. And so in order to rejuvenate, we do have to go into these healing rains, right? Purification of the soul, of the heart, of the mind, and the body. And so this will require making necessary sacrifices and understanding where you've been self-sacrificing on the journey, what it is you need to release to go through this rejuvenating process so you can live your life to the fullest. So I feel get ready to tap into some very high cosmic potential, because guess what? We're done living these roles. We're going to be living out of our soul. And so what roles have you played that, you know, have allowed you to play into these depleting, demoralizing situations? Because when we love ourselves first, we're not going to allow somebody to walk all over us, right? Boundaries are going to be necessary, I feel, in the energies. And I feel somebody's really thinking things through. That's Virgo energy. What is it you want to bring into your life? What is working? What is not working? What needs to go? What do you want to call in? Because we can't manifest everything we've been thinking about until we fully surrender. So I think count your blessings. When we come from a place of gratitude and we appreciate the lessons and we appreciate everything we already have, that's when the universe responds and brings you more of that, right? So I would like to read a little bit deeper in with the book with some of these energies. And so we're going to read into love yourself. I think many of us need to hear that message when it comes to love yourself. And what does that mean to love yourself, right? And to honor yourself and to be true to yourself, because I feel many of us are coming into this wake-up call. Let me see here. Love yourself, page 45. That's also breaking down to a 9. Rounding the completion of these cycles. And so I feel communication with another is likely going to be very, very challenging at this time, right? Mercury and Pluto, it creates challenging communication. So misunderstandings are likely going to arise over the coming days. You might be finding yourself in a power struggle dynamic with somebody that's going to leave you super frustrated and maybe even feeling blocked. So I feel the divine energy this weekend is calling us all to fully love, listen, and gently communicate so that an understanding can be reached and we can prevail in a peaceful energy moving forward. And so who's been over demanding of you? Where do you need to be more patient with yourself? Perhaps expectations of other people are too high. And when we have expectations, all we do is set ourselves up for disappointments, right? And so when we release expectations, then we can surrender. And so somebody here has not been feeling like they've been understood. Maybe somebody really needs to give more to themselves. You can and you should. And I think that's a big message. And so I think this is an invitation in the energies today to practice more self-love, and to do that within your relationships as well. And we can't promote healthy relationships in our lives if we haven't done that deep inner shadow integration of self. It always begins with you, right? And so the more you love yourself, the better things will flow with others. And you know, we always treat ourselves as a reflection of how we want to be treated. So if you're not taking care of yourself, why would anybody see your worth and your value? And so ask yourself, what is it that you really want from another that you're not getting from them? Is it something that you can give to yourself? More than likely it is. And so what are you denying when it comes to your truth? And what have you been rejecting in yourself that you want somebody else to give to you? So I think right now it's time to ease up on self-criticizing energies, self-judgment. It's really important to love yourself completely, wholly, and fully, no matter what your imperfections are, because we are all perfectly imperfect. You cannot improve upon self-love if you're not willing to do the work and ease any distressful situations in your life. And so when we honor and cherish ourselves, then we can open up to receiving affection and love from another. And so we can't do that beforehand. And if we do that beforehand, we're going to keep meeting the same person with a different face until we master that lesson. And so I feel there's going to be a lot of overreactions when it comes to challenging situations at hand. Maybe you're dealing with exaggerated differences with another, and although opposites can attract, it doesn't always work out long term. And so we do need to understand, I think all of us, we're doing our best. We are doing our best. And with more self-love, I think things will become crystal clear, because somebody here's been living a role and not been living out of a soul energy. And so when we live up to these roles, we can so easily lose ourselves. And so live your soul, not your role, is on page 56. And what does that break down to? 11. Mastering union of self. And so there's a lot of energies coming through this weekend when it comes to integrating and aligning with our inner masculine and feminine energies. And so somebody here has been pigeonholed in themselves in a contract that's not meant for them. Whether this is a false identity or fixed behaviors. I could be talking to a fixed sign, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, or Leo. Somebody's really looking at their life as a failure, and they've created all of these limitations, which has made somebody unable to connect with others and unable to express their true authentic nature. And so I think struggles are going to be presented. Maybe somebody has fallen under the spell of a karmic contract, and they've been playing a role that's not allowing their true spirit to shine through. And so this really does prevent us from being able to have that genuine connection with another. And so when we are playing into all of these roles, we're really not being authentic. And so that connection would be false, right? It would be based in false pretenses. And so somebody needs to recognize the false role, the false interaction they've been playing with somebody that's created all kinds of distance and misunderstandings. And so somebody needs to drop these pretenses. Somebody needs to drop their defenses and needs to work through some fears. We are all beautiful, bright souls, right? And so we're here to let others enjoy the real us, and they will love you for who you are. But if you're pretending to be somebody you're not, then you're not really open to receiving love in your life. So I think rethinking things through. What is it you need to release where you've been self-sacrificing? So let's jump in with the tarot. Wow, look at that. The Wounded Healer, the Page of Wands. And so getting to the bottom of a deep-seated wound when it comes to some past life energy, a familial pattern that we're here to break. We're not here to repeat history. We're here to rewrite our destiny. And so somebody here, I feel, has been very protective, not wanting to face this, right? But it's when we are prepared and we go into this deep-seated wounding, we can drop our defenses, right? We all have a core Chiron aspect. You might want to pay attention to where that is. This full moon in Aries coming up on the weekend is aligning with Chiron, and we have the Venus energy working to bring balance in, and this is likely going to lead to a brand new, creative, exciting opportunity. But you have to allow your authenticity and your creativity to soar. And you have to do things that fuel your passions, not drain them. And so something needs to be finished here. Somebody needs to finish maybe what was started. But we are going to do a 9-card spread, guys. We're going to see what message needs to come through today. 4 of Cups. Somebody here has failed to recognize a magical opportunity. They've really been missing the point. They've been distracted in their life in a very, I feel, disloyal situation. There's apprehension about taking action, making plans, Virgo energy. Somebody here has been lost in their inner subconscious world. And I do feel a wake-up call. Because wherever this person's at, there is no victory. There is no success. It was an unwise choice. And there is a need to withdraw from a very disloyal situation. Somebody here is not dedicated. They're really not willing to put in the work to build a solid foundation. This is a no answer. 6 of Wands reversed, 5 of Wands reversed. So somebody's been playing into conflicts with somebody here. There's likely going to be a conflicting challenging event today to get somebody to walk away from a very dramatic situation that really isn't worth their time. And look at that, dead central energy, an awakening. So somebody has been playing the martyr, playing the victim, self-sacrificing. And there's going to be a pause for reflection to gain spiritual insight. Somebody is awakening to see a situation in a whole new light. And this will lead to a new beginning. So I feel the withdrawing of a very combative, conflicting, power-struggling situation. The party's over. The 3 of Cups in reverse. There really is nothing left to celebrate here. Somebody really has been stuck in a third-party situation, missing the point when it comes to a divinely guided new beginning in love here. And so this is going to lead to an unexpected departure. And maybe somebody's headed straight towards a Queen of Cups, bottom of the deck, 3 of Swords. I think get ready to go into the depths of some sadness here. Somebody needs to let go of a situation that's rooted in some past life energy or a comfort zone or a pattern. There's going to be a lot of personal growth coming from these challenges today. There is likely a divine masculine going through a very painful heart chakra awakening, higher heart activation, Aries energy. The Emperor in reverse does abandon somebody in their time of need. The Emperor in reverse looks for a weak woman to control. Definitely a power struggle dynamic here. Somebody, I feel, lacks structure, discipline. They weren't there for somebody in their time of need, and they've really stayed stuck in a situation that has not yielded any growth for the effort that was put in. And so somebody, I feel, made a very poor investment, and they didn't plan properly for the future. They've been watering a dead tree, and it's kind of time to get back to a place of integrity. Somebody here lacked integrity, the justice energy, Libra energy. Somebody, I feel, needs to have faith in the future and needs to take those next steps towards healing a pattern, dysfunctional relationship, maybe healing something from the past that they walked away from, that they abandoned, that they weren't there for. This is a father. So that's interesting that I had the dream of the father energy. And I have to say, I shed a few tears, right? I know how deep that father wound goes for me, not having a relationship with my own father, and that repeating, right? With both my daughters not having a relationship with their fathers. And so somebody's been pretending everything's okay. Somebody needs to take those steps moving forward, maybe when it comes to healing a misunderstanding from the past, when it comes to abandoning somebody. I think we're kind of reaching the light at the end of the tunnel. But let's take a look at what this missed opportunity was, because somebody's been in a state of boredom, depression, suppression, feeling repressed. And yeah, they're getting to the root cause of an issue. And I feel preparing to come in with communication after a long period of time of insensitivity. Somebody here was insensitive. They were unwilling to maybe apologize. Takes a really big person to apologize, right? Takes an even bigger person to forgive somebody that hasn't apologized. And so I feel somebody has resisted sending an open-hearted message when it comes to maybe a new emotional romantic experience, ignoring the heightened psychic intuition that they've been receiving. And I think this person has a lot going on right now. I feel there's going to be unexpected rapid changes, and somebody is going to come in and protect a connection, I feel. This is also likely going to lead to the breakdown of a false foundation, because somebody received poor advice. They were likely misguided. They didn't listen to their higher counsel, their angelic team, and something is getting illuminated in order to bring forward an epiphany, maybe a Taurus or a Leo. I feel somebody is learning compassion. Maybe somebody went towards a traditional status quo foundation, and they did what their family wanted, or they did what their social circle wanted, and it's really not been what's best for them. And there's going to be an epiphany that will lead to this magical missed opportunity, but somebody's going to have to be willing to come in loyal, protective, and dedicated. So let's take a look at the Six of Wands in reverse, because this is a no answer. There is no victory here. And I feel there is a King of Wands that's held on to a situation that has been needing to be released for quite some time, maybe for the last 5 years, or maybe for the last 6 months or so. If you look back to 6 months ago, if you journal, go back in your journals. I know I'm going to go back and check out the new moon in Aries reading from 6 months ago. So those intentions that we set 6 months ago at the Aries new moon are coming forward. And so I feel somebody's held on to an ending way longer than they should have, probably for at least the last 6 months, that really has created all kinds of challenging delays when it comes to a new beginning. And so this is like the death card, right? The release is a 13 card. So transformation. Somebody's been going through a very powerful spiritual transformation. I feel they've been fighting it nail and tooth. And so I feel somebody needs to release a person that really has been holding them back when it comes to accepting a leadership position. And so I always feel Emperor energy with the King of Wands. Thankfully, he's coming out upright right now. In the past, this person did not come from a place of integrity. They were not a true benevolent leader. And so somebody, I feel, is getting ready to step into the spotlight and to speak publicly to somebody in order to have, you know, abundance in their life. I feel unexpected progress. The wheel comes out upright to get things moving forward. This is fate. This is destiny. Could be dealing with a Scorpio or a masculine that has Scorpio and fire in his chart. I think of father really wants to come out. I think of fire and water creates steam. And when somebody's got a lot of passion and they're dealing with somebody with a lot of water, like a Scorpio, it can create this energy of putting the fire out. And so I feel somebody's getting ready to communicate. They've really been oversensitive to criticism. Maybe this person was criticized, belittled, and somebody tried to instill fear in them when it comes to accepting a leadership position. But I feel a masculine here getting ready to travel, releasing an unwise choice, and he's definitely been focusing on the negatives. 555. Expect some very powerful changes. Fives are all about challenging energies to journey towards balance and harmony. And so, yeah, admitting defeat. They had questionable motives. They went towards somebody who lacked integrity to maybe teach them a lesson. And this person, I feel, has really been struggling with forgiving themselves. And I think there is going to be an unexpected arrival. So there is an awakening here. Somebody I feel has been losing a lot of time, maybe wasted a lot of time, losing a lot of resources, and they're awakening to see things in a whole new light. So let's take a look at the Hanged Man. They're awakening to see their Empress in a whole new light and a beautiful new emotional experience that will lead to a legacy, a true match connection. So we do have an Empress here. And we have a divine counterpart union coming through today. We have a masculine that did not value this Empress, abandoned her in her time of need. And we have a feminine here that had to heal herself, to pick herself up from the floor, to pick herself up from rock bottom. And I feel the time is now for action to give birth to these divine counterpart unions. This is what we've dreamed of, right? So I think get ready for a new creative project, a beautiful new emotional experience, and we're awakening to this now, right? And so somebody wants to deepen a connection with their true match. This Empress is brilliant, talented, independent. She can make anything grow. She is the queen of all queens. She is a nurturer. She is glowing. She's abundant. She's prosperous. She's successful. A mother. You know, she nurtures everything. And I feel an Empress here that receives all kinds of spiritual insights, is likely in tune with her psychic abilities. And there's a masculine needing to believe in themselves. I think they underestimated this person. They did not see her worth. They did not see her value. And this was like their gift. Somebody was given a gift. And I feel they're now needing to honor some new family traditions. Somebody's played into some pride and some ego. This is a divinely guided connection here. Somebody is about to make their dreams come true, but there is going to have to be a conversation about some, you know, mischievous behavior. There might be an embarrassing secret coming out. Somebody didn't take caution and they went towards, you know, some very negative actions, which is likely going to lead to a material loss because there was dishonesty there. Somebody lied about this being their wish fulfillment. And they've likely been masking through addictions, struggling financially, because the reality is they missed the point, right? They missed the point. So there's going to be a cancellation of an engagement with a false contract or maybe a family structure. Somebody, I feel, is breaking free from a third-party situation and quickly coming in absolutely devoted to this feminine energy who, you know, at one point in time, I think had a lot of love for them, was very loving, was very compassionate, psychic. And she's all done self-sacrificing, right? She's received the insight. She likely knows this is coming. But she's no longer going to care for another if they're not doing the same for her. And so her cup is covered. Her cup is covered. We do have some type of reader or healer here with the tarot deck on the chair. She's stared this pain right in the face and she's calmed her inner waters, right? And this is going to bring in somebody that I feel in the past was playing games. There was passion here, but there was no trust. Somebody, you know, left a situation. They come in all charismatic, but we're not ready to invest. And now I feel they're ready to invest. So let's take a look at the third party energy because this is coming to a close. Ego. 10 of Wands. 2 of Pentacles. So somebody's been juggling for a long time. Teeter-tottering on the fence. Having a hard time determining if they want true spiritual love or ego-based love. And so there was a third-party situation that somebody became entangled in and trapped in. Capricorn could be dealing with a Capricorn, and this has been a long-standing burden. Somebody feared accepting responsibility, maybe for a very toxic situation they created, for the pain that they caused somebody that was divinely ordained for them. And somebody is going to have to make a choice to release an unhealthy situation, whether it's riddled with addictions or extreme codependencies. This has been a burden, and somebody's been trying to work on making something work that's just not meant to work for a long time, and they've been juggling. Maybe they've been trying to release this situation for the last couple of years. But I feel divine timing says you can't keep playing these games, right? Juggling is a game. We're not here to play games with people's hearts and emotions. Somebody needs to balance out a situation. They've been likely working too hard. Maybe they've been like a slave to a karmic contract, and it's going to lead to all kinds of health issues and stress because they've lacked integrity, right? And so a major realignment. So there's going to be a karmic rebalancing, and somebody's going to have to stand up for truth and justice and to come from a place of integrity. So the Queen of Cups, I feel somebody's really had a hard time with bringing forward an offer because of some past lies and some secrets. Maybe somebody, you know, cheated or snuck away to another situation. That's interesting. We get the Six of Swords reversed and the Seven of Swords upright. And so somewhere in there, there's some truth that needs to be spoken. On this Seven of Swords, he's got the six underneath his, you know, his blanket there, and he's got just the ace in his hand. So I think rushing in after a long period of fighting internally about bringing forward some truth. The truth always comes to light. And so somebody, I feel, is feeling very foolish. Right? There's fear about taking a leap of faith. I got tingles all on the side of my head right now. It actually feels really good, but somebody's going to have to push their fears aside and take that leap of faith, and I think they're scared because they're going to have to come forward with the whole truth and nothing but the truth and admit, you know, they really messed up a situation through manipulative behavior, right? There's no magic alive in this person's life. They're not getting their wishes fulfilled. And they're going to have to break free from this entrapped illusion that they've been in. They've been all stuck up in their head, lacking confidence, lacking drive, lacking motivation, feeling helpless about bringing forward the truth, afraid to take action, maybe even afraid of rejection, which is likely what would be balancing the scales. But somebody's going to have to take responsibility for a very unwise choice if they want to step into joy again. So very tough message today. Could be dealing with an Aries. We got pretty much everybody here. But let's get you guys a couple last message with the Crystal Angels deck today by Doreen Virtue. Jade, Wellness, the recovery. Maybe the recovery of connection, the recovery of health, recovering from addictions. Prosperity is here for the taking. But there is a need to go through a level of purification and detoxification first. It's really time to release these physical and energetic blocks from somebody's life if they want to embrace the flow of this divine support when it comes to a counterpart union coming to fruition. So let's see what else needs to come through for the collective when it comes to this message. So healthy communication in relationships is going to be needed. So there is going to be a heart-to-heart discussion coming up here. It's going to be clear. It's going to be assertive communication, and it's really going to help you understand the whys. Somebody's trying to find their self-confidence through God's source confidence, and so somebody really needs to believe in themselves and to believe that God has been working through you and with you within this connection. And I love it. The balancing of the masculine and the feminine energies. And so the feminine side needs the masculine to bring forward that confidence in order for the feminine to be creatively inspired. And so I feel there's all of this increased cosmic support to help us focus on the positive. But somebody has to be willing and ready to open up the doorway of this new experience. And so I feel somebody has really, I feel a feminine here that's really stayed strong in her faith, in this connection, in this journey. And a positive outcome is going to be dependent on if this other person can keep a positive mindset and join in, socialize and join in. And so somebody needs to make healthy choices. There's all kinds of new supportive connections trying to come in. But this masculine is going to have to be willing to join in the spiritual community and these like-minded peoples as part of this increased spiritual growth. So I think busy times, frustrating times, it's time for somebody to take charge of a situation and to honestly assess their underlying reasons of why they've allowed themselves to stay stuck for as long as they have, and what it is they need to do to really be there for those in need. People that we love, we don't just give up on them, right? we stick it through. And so I feel somebody went towards a very unconventional situation. And there's important shifts taking place over the weekend coming up when it comes to our life purpose. And we're here to be different. So there is going to be a life-changing epiphany or a very traumatic karmic experience that is going to bring forward an epiphany to embrace these changes. And I feel a masculine here feeling all of his feelings. All up in his feelings, experiencing the full range of emotions. And I feel this underlying rage is going to be unleashed over the weekend when it comes to sending that important message. And that's what I got, guys. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, check out that description box below, guys. And I do look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.